So my hair probably looks a mess, but yeah, I'm going to just show it like this. I woke up about an hour or so ago and I've been on my phone, right? I was responding to texts from yesterday night because I slept quite early and I'm not an early sleeper. But yeah, yesterday I told myself I want to commit to reading more this week, not in the sense of like reading more books, but just reading more because I have quite enough the amount of time on my hands during the day, but I don't get to read as much as I want for some weird reason. So yeah, I want to read more this week. So this is the start of a reading vlog, and I've not done this like in this scale before. So my goal is to sleep earlier than I usually do, and wake up early like this. Not to read for a very long time. My goal is just to read morning, afternoon, and evening. So 1 hour each time. So that's three. Sorry. So that's like 3 hours a day minimum. Like that's my target. Is just that minimum of an hour morning, an hour afternoon, and an hour in the evening. So yeah, this will be the start to this vlog. I would be reading Bonjour Tristesse by Francois Sagan. I don't know if that's how you say his name. I'm not too good with French, but I'll be starting that. I have other books I might dabble in during the day, but I want to start this one because it has been calling my name for a while now since I watched this French film last week. So yeah, that'll be my read. I just have now till 6. I really love reading in the mornings like this when the world is not awake, like where I live. By 6, 7, like students, it's starting to become a busy day and you're hearing all the noise. So it's like 5 or something now. It's just getting to 5. So I'm just going to start now, finish by 6, 6:10 before the sun comes up. That's like my favorite time to read, when the world is very quiet. So yeah.
It is said that it takes a lifetime to figure out who you are. This book cover is so you.
Hi, so check in. I ended up like sleeping for 5 hours after completing the 1 hour which I set out to read. I successfully like completed that, and then I got about 20 something pages in. But yeah, no major thoughts now. Maybe I'll give thoughts later or towards the end of the day. But I ended up sleeping long, and it kind of like is a standard for me to sleep like long hours like that during the day because I'm not like very employed, as you guys know. So I will be going to the book fair, but I'll be going to my reading spot. So maybe I'll get 1 hour in, then I would go to the fair and maybe browse some titles that I could market to sell. Need money, so need to do that. And yeah, I'll check in with you guys later, but maybe I'll show you a bit of where I read during the day, sometimes where I like to read. And yeah, bye. This is my tote for the day. It's probably my favorite tote bag, and yeah, books I'm carrying. I always like carrying 2 books, even though I'm currently reading one, because I don't like having just a book in my bag. So I'm carrying Passing Nella Larsen. I'm 50-ish pages in this. I've not read it for about 2 or 3 weeks now. But yeah, then I'm carrying this Mikio one that I don't know has been calling out to me. So maybe it will be my next physical book after this one, because I like doing a physical and a couple of like ebooks. But yeah, those are the 2 books I'm carrying out.
Eu acho que você me nunca se faz, esse menino,
good evening. I'm using my phone light, my ring light, for some reason it spoiled yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, what's wrong?" I saw that the red wire has disconnected from the light, so maybe I'll try to see if I can get it fixed this week. But updates. I did not achieve much after this morning since I mentioned I woke up late. I did not read this afternoon like I intended, and I do not know if I'm going to read this night because I'm having a very like weird night. I have this like very melancholic feeling tonight. It happens, it comes from time to time. It's a bit of like sadness, I think, most from living alone. Yeah, I usually do not know what to do with it, and I'm usually unable to function or even watch something when I feel like that. So I don't know, I might just go to sleep. I just finished making my food, so I might after this I'm going to eat, maybe continue watching. I've been watching Sex and the City for about over a year now. In season 5. I have one season left after season 5, so I love it so much. I just love books about female friendships, films about female friendships. I love reading about New York City. I love watching things set in New York City. So yeah, so many great moments I have had with this show, and it's just kind of like tracking who I was then in a way and who I versus who I am now, because I think I started this show around May or something last year, and like a year later, so I am very much different. I'm a year older, so it's a lot of things. Reading updates though, like I said, I could not read, so I would just carry those books around in my bag. But that's how it usually is most times. I was going to read actually, but I got there. I had to do a delivery because, as I've mentioned, I sell books from time to time, and I'm trying to expand it. I just don't know how the funds to make it a bit bigger now. So I've been doing it small scale, and I was to deliver a book. It's even close to being here, but the person did not come on time, so I had to just leave there. I went to the book fair. Maybe I would have inserted clips in the previous moment so you can see what I saw that attracted my eye. You can buy them for me if you have the money to, because I did not have the money to get anything for myself. So I just took a few videos of the things that looked good to me, a few classics and whatnot. And yeah, concerning Bonjour Tristes, which I read 25 pages of in the morning, we open with this young girl telling us of how she's very distraught, and it's kind of a past narration type story. She's giving us details of what happened a summer ago, where I think everything that we learned during the story took place. And so far, I do not know, there's just this disconnect for me with the narrative voice. It's not really like focused on like the details of things, it's just more focused on the telling of the story. And I don't know, the writing is just, there's just this weird thing I've not placed my finger on what it is. So it's just like very fast paced in how we are learning about this summer that happened in narrator's life, and I think we'll get to what made her so distraught and whatnot. So I'm excited to continue going with it. I think this will be like the one I read every morning. So yeah, I might read an hour. I might do my 1 hour tonight. I'm not sure, it's not set in stone, but yeah, if I do, it's going to be maybe passing, or maybe passing. Yeah, so I think this is where I close for Monday. And yeah, hi there. So, full fit, but you cannot see it. I am going out. I ended up reading for 30 minutes this morning instead of an hour. I felt so sleepy, even though I slept like 4 hours prior, right? I felt like I was drugged. So I ended up falling asleep again for another 3 or so hours, which is crazy. So I'm going to the reading spot now because I'm going to the fair again today to maybe pick up some things for some people. So I might stop at the reading spot to try to do 1 hour, do my best to see if I can do 1 hour. And yeah, I did 10 pages this morning. That's something, I guess. So it will be clocking in the reading spot, then maybe I'll try to read 1 hour tonight. I feel a bit better today, so there's that upside. Yeah, so yes. Hey guys, so today is Thursday. It's currently I think 6 p.m. I did not film anything yesterday because I was having a day, is what I'm going to call it. A day filled with a lot of crying and crash outs, and I was just so out of it in general that I found it unable I found myself unable to even read or to even think of recording because everything was just happening, and just it felt like life was just slamming me from all directions. But one of those days, right? And today I have barely gone out of the house. I'm saying I have not gone out of the house today. I have not read, although I did read a bit by I think 3 a.m. I was up doing some internet surfing things. What I did was I looked a bit at passing. I'm at page 61 of this edition, and yes, I had already read these pages before, but then I just decided to like catch myself up with some few things from the earlier parts because I started this book last month around this I started around the 10th last month or so, and yes, I still remember like practically everything. But there was sometimes, I don't know if it happens to you guys, where there's a detail that might come to your mind and you cannot remember exactly the page the detail came from because you did not think to mark it, but then you are very sure you saw that detail, so you have to go back to try to quickly scan with your eyes to see that detail. But yes, I had to look for a specific insignificant detail though, but I was just like, oh, I got back and I was enthralled by some of the passages from this side of the book, so I just decided to read a bit into it. I do think I wish I was reading it more consistently. We follow a woman, Irene, who gets a letter at the beginning from a childhood friend telling her that she desires to see her again, and the book is Irene taking us at the beginning. The first part, which is encounter, sees Irene like, because in the letter the friend Claire Kendry tells her about how what's the current feelings. It's very vague. It's a very vague letter, so we get like the unveiling from the main character Irene, and Claire Kendry tells her that, oh, when she saw her when she saw her 2 years ago, it stirred up like so many feelings inside of her. And that's when we learn from Irene going back that 2 years ago they encountered each other in Chicago, and they had not seen each other in about 15 years. And so it's like Irene just giving us the tidbits of their conversation, which we end up learning that Claire is a black woman who is who is married to a white man and passing as a white woman. So it's like black people who can pass for white people, which is a subject I'd heard about before, but it's not something I have read about or like seen any film about, even though I know this has a very like beloved adaptation, at least from this generation. So yeah, it has been nice getting into like this world, this time set in the 20s, I think between Chicago and New York, if I'm not mistaken. It's like set in very, I would say, very lengthy scenes that we get. The beginning, we get the unveiling of the letter, then we get the encounter, which is the 2 years ago memory between them, which is one long drawn out scene. And I really like how it's like so much we are getting out of like one particular scene. We're not moving through time so fast, and we see how, yeah, the two women used to know each other. They came from the same hometown, and now that they have grown up, there were some tragedies in Claire Kendry's life which led her to the present where she is now being married to a white man and passing for a white woman. And there's one scene in here, there are a lot of shockers in here, but the scene that made me do a double take was one scene where after they meet each other, Claire Kendry invites Irene to dinner, or to tea rather, and Irene initially disagrees, right, but then she just succumbs eventually. And when she gets to Claire's house for the tea, Claire has a guest with her, and it's a lady called Gertrude that they used to know when they were younger, but Gertrude is just like fatter now and looks very different, right? And the common thing between all three women, which we learn, is that all all of them can pass for white, because we get points where Claire asks Irene, why did you know why she always wondered why these people from her hometown who could pass did not pass over, that like mingle with the white people when they were black people as white people. So at that tea they are talking about like their present, where they are now, like the men they are married to, and we learned that Claire has a daughter that is white, and Gertrude also has a son or two sons, if I'm not mistaken, that look white although they are black. But we learned that in Gertrude's case, the husband's family, they are well aware that she is black, but the husband did not bother anyway, because that time, like, it seemed it was very risky being being black, marrying a white man, or even the acceptance of black people being married to white people. So we learned that Gertrude's husband did not mind, and so in turn his family had to accept it. But Claire, on the other hand, we found out that she was passing, or she is passing, and she had to like hide her identity, but it did not really take so much for her to cover these things up, because the one of the questions Irene thought to ask her, which she just answered by herself without even being outrightly asked, was that how was it possible, like how did she have to explain where she came from, her heritage. And it was not so hard for Claire, because her father was, I think her father's father was black but married a white woman, so the father ended up like half white that could pass for black, and so did Claire at the same time. And she says something that really struck me. Irene is asking her, what about background, family, in terms of like passing, how do you like cover these things up? And she says, surely you can't just drop down on people from nowhere and expect them to receive you with open arms, can you? And Claire responds, almost. You'd be surprised, Rain, how much easier that is with white people than with us. Maybe because there are so many more of them, or maybe because they are secure and so they don't have to bother. I've never quite decided. And that really just struck me, the idea of how the white was the multitude at this time, because they were the ones doing all the racial crimes, and it's how they were secure, and their security in their position also came from them being white at the same time. I don't know, there's so many things to like dig in, and the book is so short, like I think it's less than 100 pages, or a little over 100 pages, this copy, because this fat half is introduction, which I did not read. I don't do long introductions where the text is like discussed in depth. So yeah, I cannot wait to get to the end of it. This is the only thing I've read since I think yesterday or so. I've not touched Bonjour Tristesse, although I want to, so I might tonight. I don't know. Yeah, I know this is not going to be like my very very best vlog, because it's my first one, and there's not so much to excite you guys, as you come to see, because I barely go out. I do the same things every day, indoors, read, because I'm still like practically unemployed, and what I try to make money from is my little business, which again I put out there. I would love any support. I buy books to resell at cheaper prices to help people who do not have so much get easier access to them, because then I knew what it was like to be like a college student wanting to buy books but not always having the money to. And it's still a present reality where there's so much I want to get, and sometimes they are not even so expensive and I cannot afford it. So I love giving other people the opportunity. So I just thought to check in. I hope you are good, and maybe I'll check in better tomorrow, I guess. And bye.
I've never heard it before.
Hi there. So I have on this bonnet because I want to look the least crazy as possible with my hair tonight on this short video, on this short catch up. It's I think around 10 p.m., a bit past 10 p.m. I just thought to check in and yeah, it was a crazy day. I don't think I filmed in the morning, although I intended to. I did wake up a bit earlier today. I got in my allotted 1 hour for this morning. Then I went to the reading spot because I think by 8 a.m. or so, I felt like I could still push a little more. So I got there to read for, I wanted to do like an hour or so there, but I ended up doing 30 minutes because I started getting really, really sleepy. And I read more of Bonjo Tristes. So by this point, I am past the halfway mark of the novel, and so far, just quick catch up on that. I don't know if to say I'm enjoying it so much, but I do know it has like a lot of drama and like very telenovela type drama in a way, very silly but entertaining to an extent, right? And also, I found out that it was written by a woman. I don't know why I thought for the longest time that Bonjo Tristes was written by a man, maybe because of the way the name was. I never checked who the author was because I was beating myself over the head that it's the 15th. I have not touched any of the allotted books for Women in Translation Month. I've not been reading the most. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. It's not like I do not do reading slumps. Like, that does not happen to me because it's either I am reading or I am not reading. That's how I kind of see it, to be honest. There are periods where I do not read as much and I feel like I am in this sort of drought, but I don't know. I do not really term it reading slumps. I just see it as me not reading. So I think yeah, I have been a bit slower with Bonjour Tristes because it's a really short novel. And yeah, so I discovered the writer was a woman today, and it kind of checked my list, my first like woman in translation I'm reading for this month. So I was very happy because I was like, it's the 15th and we are not touching these women in translated novels. So yeah, Bonjour Tristes recap. I don't know. I'll probably insert the first video where I talk a bit about it. It's this book that follows this young girl, 17. She's in the present. She's recounting when she was 17, and they had this summer where they traveled to this villa to spend the holiday. She's with a father who is her only parent because her mother is dead, and so she's very attached to her father. But long story short, this woman who was a friend of her mother comes into their life and she starts to upbraid their life, and really it's just upbraids like the young girl's mind. She's so young and she feels like this older woman who is coming on strong to her father and who the father is giving a lot of affection is kind of like destroying the relationship she has with her father. It's kind of coming into her own in a bit, and yeah, we just see her where she wrestles with this internal dilemma because she says that what the woman wants for her, what the woman wants for her father, it's kind of good because they have this very like they live very freely, to put it simple. They live very freely, like partying even at such a young age. Like the father indulges her in all those kind of things, and this woman is more of like a contained, reserved woman. So it's a very stark contrast to their lives, and she feels that the woman is spoiling her name. I think her name is Anne, if I'm not mistaken. Anne is spoiling the relationship. So it's this internal struggle we are getting, at least from this halfway point where I've read so far. And yeah, again, it's nice, but I don't know, just the writing, something about it just, it's not doing it for me. But I do not detest it like I thought I was going to. And that's really the only check-in I have at this point with my read. I think this vlog might be wrapping up tomorrow, Saturday, so I can maybe try to get it out on Sunday. I did go out today. I did go to pick a specific book for a friend who bought it from me. I sourced it for her. It was Hard Times by Charles Dickens. She paid, so I went to pick this up for her. And yeah, that was mostly what I did today, and just like house errands, etc. And got back home by 5, and yeah, just ate early so I could rest early. But it's 10 o'clock and I am not sleeping yet, so I don't know what early rest I'm talking about. But yeah, that's probably where this catch up ends, and maybe the vlog will end tomorrow. I'm hoping it will, and I would love to finish like those two books before this vlog is over, to be fair. And but yeah, that's this for the night. I hope you take care, and I will see you maybe tomorrow.